I think it started with the concept of self-awareness and me really getting to know myself at a deeper level. Because you come into this as an experienced leader, thinking you know yourself and feeling almost comfortable at times. But as you get into the material, you have those aha moments that you realize, as people are giving me feedback and as I'm asking for honest feedback from people, it's a little eye-opening at times, like, oh, this is who I really am, or this is how people see me, and it may not necessarily be how I see myself. So I think it starts with self-awareness. And then you go into shame and vulnerability and things that aren't easy, they're not comfortable, and that's probably why we push a lot of those things aside. But when you really understand there's strength and vulnerability, that can be, it opens your mind. It opens your mind to possibilities and new ways of becoming sort of that best version of yourself. And then one of the other big takeaways I have now, which I think is, it's enlightening and it's liberating in some ways, is the concept of showing up as your best self every day, and realizing that some days I feel like I nail it, and there's some situations like I can sit back and say, I know myself, I know my strengths, I know my weaknesses, I know my shame voice. Today was a really good day, or in that moment I was my best self. More often than not, you can say, I was not at my best today, or I was not at my best in that moment. And that's okay when you realize it's all about learning, and it's about learning who you are, learning how to be your best self, and then trying to be better tomorrow than I was today. Another part of creating our best, which I thought was really helpful, was the concept of dialogue. And maybe in my old self, I would go into situations thinking I had to know the outcome, I had to know the path I was going to take to get from here to there, and this needs to happen, and this needs to happen. And that can create a lot of anxiety because things rarely play out the way you want them to. Dialogue is different. Dialogue is simply going in and saying, I'm going to foster dialogue. I have some skills to know how to do that. And I'm going to see how this plays out, knowing that you don't always land where you think you're going to land, but the process of dialogue can be so helpful. I had a situation recently where I got into the dialogue and things just felt like it was going off the rails with another leader and a physician I was working with, and my old self would be filled with anxiety, and I would have escalated things. But in this moment, I could sit back and just recognize, like, wow, this is not what I expected. And that's okay. And then you just navigate through that, and then you spend hours or days reflecting on that and learning from that. And something that would have caused a lot of anxiety and emotion in the past, now within 24 to 48 hours just resolves, because you have those skills to dialogue through some of that.